Oh
See your
God,
face.
I'm like gagging.
The one where Cece gags or
Mayonnaise
do
is
it or
like
whatever.
one of the absolute grossest things in the world.
I
to
couldn't
me.
possibly
Really?
agree more. It's
So
disgusting.
disgusting.
I will put it on a sandwich and eat it happily, but it's also
no.
like thinking about it too much.
Oh,
The
really?
sound
Oh,
that
yeah.
it makes coming out of a jar.
It's a
So
sport.
slime is out for you too, huh?
Do you like Miracle Whip?
No.
See, I used to think,
I don't
I
like-
watched commercials, I was like, my God, I want to get some of that tangy zip. And when I finally
It's
did, I
gross.
grew up and got, it's the worst thing ever.
It's awful.
What's
like,
wrong with
all
you
of it
people?
is
It's wonderful.
disgusting.
Miracle Whip is great.
Duke's mayonnaise is the only mayonnaise.
I don't even know this Duke. I don't
Oh,
trust
No,
man.
that's
That's
like a
good.
tartar sauce kind of thing, right?
No, it's like genuine, true, real, old school
it.
mayonnaise.
Bring out the Hellmann's and bring out the
And if you and you can tell when you're in the South because
I
they
bet
have
you
it on
eat
the
white
shelf.
bread, don't you, Ray?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Do I?
I eat white bread.
White bread.
Just
Oh.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Not even real food.
American singles.
Built by
Miracle
the
Whip.
yeah right. Let's see if I can do it.
All those things are so gross to me.
American pasteurized cheese food product.
Yeah,
American
pasteurized cheese
imitation.
food.
Imitation American cheese food pasteurized product.
Yeah, I'm
No.
sorry. If you have to tell me it's food, it's not.
Made in Taiwan,
Exactly.
assembled in
Yeah.
the USA.
Why? How?
How do they assemble cheese in the USA?
I know they partially hydrogenated it first. I can say that. For
Oh.
sure.
It
That's,
comes in a big brick,
yeah,
Ugh,
like Big Wheel of Cheese Day.
that's
on
part of it.
Andrew Jackson.
so gross.
And
Hi everybody,
like
it's the Nerd Factor.
Oh,
What's up? Hi, I'm Brandon.
I'm Cece, I'm grossed out thoroughly.
I'm April. I'm not grossed out because I like mayonnaise.
And I'm Lucas, and I finally have a microphone.
Yay! He likes Miracle Whip, but not really. But I think he does, because he should.
But no, seriously though, if you can tell when you're in the South because Duke's is like the standard, and the further south you go, the more and more prevalent it becomes. And
The Dukes of mayonnaise.
it really is. It's
So what's the
Dukes.
difference?
I don't know. I know it's just real like old school, old fashioned mayonnaise, and it's wonderful.
Okay, what even
And I
is
love it.
mayonnaise?
Old fashioned mayonnaise.
Old fashioned mayonnaise.
Oh, it's like a little bit yellow.
Stop.
No, well, I mean,
It's got like a rind on the top of it.
Oh dear God, that's gross. Now I'm getting grossed out.
Mayonnaise rind.
Mayonnaise rind.
This is where I puke on a camera.
Yummy. But for real, what is mayonnaise? I don't
Mayonnaise
know.
Egg.
is just egg yolk
And oil.
and
And it's
you
whipped
just-
together.
You whip it together real good. It's called, what's that process called? Emulsification?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's all it is. Then you add a little bit of garlic and you got a really nice aioli.
okay. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
why should that be
Okay.
gross? Like, those things are all fine.
Sure.
to me.
I don't know, you're weird.
But there's
I
like
guess so.
there's like a congealing that
Ah,
happens.
that,
though.
maybe that's it.
You know?
I cannot, I have chills right now. I'm so grossed out.
Really?
Yeah. I'm super grossed out by food sometimes.
Hmm.
Not food, but food
Some
like
foods,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get that because I have a friend of mine who anything like mayonnaise, ranch dressing, yogurt,
Maybe that's it.
anything like that is texturally, he's absolutely just disgusted by it and will not eat it.
So tomatoes are my thing.
Blech.
See, I could bite into one of those.
I hate
So
tomatoes.
many
I think they're
people
gross.
can,
yeah.
especially I feel like, especially but not exclusively in the South, right? Tomatoes are the only food. I'm like a garbage disposal. I'll eat whatever you put in front of me, but a raw tomato, with the snotty, drippy, disgusting. Okay.
I
So
wouldn't say it that way.
here's the right. So here's the.
It shouldn't be snotty.
They're gross. The
Little
The membrane that's around the
Oh,
seed.
that's a
membranous-
disgusting word.
So-
this is the one where we gross everyone out.
Right. So I was driving downtown Lexington one time. I was on Maxwell Street, and there used to be a Ramsey's there. It's not anymore. It's the corner of Maxwell, I think.
High.
High, yeah, yeah. It was a springtime, and they were kind of bringing out their spring menu, and they had a big banner.
gonna say.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? They had a big banner outside of the restaurant, and it had the banner featured in this beautiful a high-resolution image of a woman's fingers. I remember thinking, those are woman's fingers, for she had like nails on, you know?
Lady fingers.
Lady fingers, for sure. Squeezing a tomato wedge, and some of that snotty just stuff was coming out.
It's
And
pulp.
the pulpy, the tomato pulp
Yeah,
was coming out.
use pulp. Don't well the snotty word is just.
And the caption said, squirt.
Oh.
And I gagged in my car. Like I was literally like, I can't just, oh no, I can't. And I continued on to Common Grounds Coffee Shop.
I feel like they
Tried to
quit
have a
hanging
better
that up
day.
after maybe that 1 year.
Because it made
God, I
everybody
hope
almost
so.
puke out their car
Like,
window.
wreck their cars.
Squirt. Blah, blah, blah.
Ugh.
No food
They-
should squirt. especially tomatoes.
Lemons.
They then hung up a
Okay,
banner
maybe
that says
lemons.
corn and Maters.
All right.
Maters.
Corn and
Corn and
maters.
maters.
Yeah,
Well,
for
I'm
their
cool on-
summer season. But Maters, as awful as that is anyway, was an apostrophe S instead of a plural S.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
no.
So I don't know what's more offensive,
Curses.
that or squirt.
Squirt is the most
I think the
offensive.
combination of all of the above was just.
I think the word maters used grammatically correct would be more offensive than having it be verbally.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh,
Wow.
I think that shows that you know what you're doing and you did it wrong on purpose.
yeah, that's
That's
true.
fair point.
That's true.
That is one of my
That is a very
big
good
pet peeves, when people purposely misspell stuff.
Mm.
Like anything that has to do with kids, like any business that has to do with kids.
And they put a Z.
Yes, and a K instead of a C.
Why?
Yes.
Like,
Crazy
it
cuts.
stop.
KRAZY
Do you honestly think that's going to bring more business
kills
in the
me
door?
every time.
Yes.
Why does it? Well, it's crazy. I guess they put a K.
It's like adding an exclamation point to something to make it exciting. Sorry, it doesn't matter how many exclamation
Oh,
points
and
you
you
put
guys-
on that.
how
It's
about-
not going to make this event more exciting.
Unnecessary quotation marks are some of my
Oh,
favorite things.
those are
Like,
fun too.
Your attention, please.
This is the episode where we
Being
gripe.
facetious, like, what do you mean?
Your attention, please. We really don't want your attention.
Your attention, please. Okay, I'll just keep my face buried in my phone then, I guess. Is that what you want?
Oh my lord.
Hi, everybody.
So it's a Wednesday morning. We are here. We had a great event on Monday evening for recording our season finale.
Yeah, I was there. It was great.
Yeah, it was totally
You were for sure.
represented. Absolutely.
The old smile. the whole
We got
time.
lots of opinions from you. It was great.
Yeah.
Listen, I made pretty good money Monday night.
All
Hey,
right.
good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you.
Benson, though. So
Yeah.
Doug
How
Benson.
was it?
It was fine.
Okay.
He was nice this time. Last time
okay.
he came, he was confused about his call.
Hmm.
But the show started at 4:20
Mm-hmm.
on a Sunday,
Okay.
so we're like, how can you forget that?
Yeah, how could you forget that?
I'll give you 3 guesses.
Well, I mean, what was his call time though?
Then
So his call time was just to
4:20.
arrive at 4:20?
So the way he does it, he doesn't have any kind of opening act. If he brings
Oh.
someone with him, he still goes on stage first,
Oh.
and the feature comic does about 30 minutes in between, and then he goes back on stage, and then somebody else comes up.
Oh.
It's one of those kind of shows.
Okay.
So last time he was here, we dim the lights, we play our opening music, manager does the announcement, and he's like, please, welcome to the stage, Doug Benson. Nothing.
Oh.
So he doesn't walk up there, and it is dead silent in
Oh.
a sold out showroom.
Oh no.
So 260 people just sitting there,
Oh, no.
wondering what's up.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, he gets on stage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Was he even in the building?
He was in the building. He was just chilling in the green room.
Just
oh,
by choice? Just
wow.
didn't feel like going on stage?
Well,
or?
so after about 5 minutes, one of my staff, I don't manage that place. One of my coworkers went up there and was like, "Hey man, we just did your call."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, sorry," and just kept on sitting there.
Okay.
He's like, "I'll be down. I'll be down in a minute."
Okie dokie.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Well,
But no, this time he was super nice, really professional.
nice.
So yeah,
Awesome.
Okay, great.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that documentary he did.
super honey.
That's really funny.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's good. Educational. I like it.
I'll be honest, I had to look him up.
Did you? Oh, he's
I did.
great.
He was
yeah.
really funny, on those VH1 shows that were on for a while,
Mm.
Best Week Ever.
Oh,
and
yeah, he was
I
on
Love
Best
the
Week Ever.
90s or
Oh,
whatever.
dude.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
was pretty funny on those, I thought.
Him and Michael Ian Black were 2 favorites.
He's really funny too.
Yeah.
He's kind of an odd guy in person.
I bet so.
Yeah.
I could imagine so.
Not super friendly, but
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me if
Right.
comedians are friendly or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't know you nothing,
No.
so, yeah.
No.
Okay,
Just like any other performer, they don't know you anything.
It's true.
right, that's right.
I feel like, I don't know, it's weird to, I've worked at the club for 15 years almost.
Oh wow.
So it's really interesting to see, actually it will be 15 years in the year, how people's expectations have evolved over the years.
Mm.
Because I feel like now that we have what we think is direct communication with
Yeah.
stars, quote unquote, because
Yeah,
you can
instant
tweet at
access.
somebody,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, right.
you can comment on you know, Facebook, Instagram, whatever.
Sure.
So I feel like people feel a closer connection with
Yeah.
famous people, whether that's really
That's
real
true.
or not,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
Right.
I
So
get that.
like to me, as time has gone on, like when I first started there, you know, if the talent didn't do a meet and greet, nobody cared.
Yeah, right.
Now people get furious.
Really?
If they don't,
Really?
If they don't
Yeah.
do like after the show.
I'll
kind
pay
of a
$40.
thing.
I want to get a photo with, you know,
Wow.
Nephew Tommy.
Wow. Wow.
But yeah.
That must be like to be on that end, and so few of us are on that end. I guess the kind of the famous person end. That must be. I'm about to say something. I'm already being my own devil's advocate. Poor famous people, woe is them, right? But that must be like an added stress. I could imagine. Like, well, you're a famous person is just a person too, and they perform and they do their job, and now they want to go chill out, or they want to go to dinner with their friends, or they're only in town till tomorrow or something, and you know.
Well,
so,
they're at
Yeah.
work.
right,
Yeah,
they're at work.
they're
Yeah,
at
right. You're
work,
right. Exactly.
you know?
They're at work. Yeah. Okay.
Well, but like, what part of that situation is not stressful? I mean, let's say you're playing a sold-out show at 10,000 at some place after you're done. Everyone else has got to get out in that traffic. I mean, it's not exactly a
Right.
leisurely
Right.
situation.
Right.
I guess maybe
I
it
expect-
depends on the venue, maybe.
Well, yeah, perhaps, but I mean, you know, it is work, and
Right.
you know, and just like any of us, we can't really expect people to leave us alone just because we're at work.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
it's just how it is.
So I was devil's advocating in that same way
Yeah.
with myself. Yeah, right. It's like,
Yeah, it's weird. I had never really done a meet and greet as part of a production until a couple years ago, and I mean, like, we'll go after the show's over. You go change out of your costume, and then you can go out. And there's usually by that point most of the people have left, and then the only people who are there are people who are actually waiting to see whoever they came to see.
yeah.
And but I did a show a couple of years ago where they came straight off the stage in costume and went out into the lobby to do a meet and greet with the audience, and I was like, what is this?
What the
It
what?
was weird. I had never done it, and I've been doing this for a good dozen years at this point.
All right.
And I'd never done it. I was like, I've never done this. This is weird. I'm still not a big fan of doing it that way.
Yeah.
So I feel like a meet and greet is just like an added thing that if someone's really nice and wants to do, then sure. But
Right.
like again, you're not entitled to that. No one is.
Right.
No one
Sure.
owes
Oh, yeah.
you that.
Yeah.
No one owes you that selfie.
Right on. Right.
Well, and then there's some of the talent makes people pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Lavelle
Right.
Crawford, who was there last week.
Right.
He so you had to buy something to get a photo with him,
Mm-hmm.
or you had to pay just $10 straight out
Right.
to get a photo with him,
Right.
like
Wow.
on your own phone.
Right.
And people were mad about that.
Mm.
And it's like, well, I mean, he's, you know,
Right.
it's his call.
Yeah,
Right.
you know?
It is at the end of the day his call.
Yeah.
I
Huh.
met George Romero. I had to pay a little cash to meet George Romero, but he's one of my heroes, you know.
Mhm.
And it was at a Scarefest in Lexington. I paid $50 to meet him, and it was worth every case. He smelled so good. I paid $50 just to
That
know
is
what cologne
not
he
the
wore.
description that I
Fun
was
fact.
expecting.
Yeah.
He smelled like a campfire, like and just a beautiful woodsy campfire. It was great.
Really?
George Romero, nice guy.
How do you bottle that and put that
Right.
into a
I
cologne?
don't know, man. It was
It was
good.
a beard oil. My husband has this glorious white, long, curly Santa Claus beard.
He does.
And he has this beard oil that he wears at Christmas that smells like Christmas.
Yeah.
It's got, like, I don't even know what it's called, but it was one that a friend of ours, Adam, who actually came to the show Tuesday
Adam.
night. Hi, Adam. There you go.
You're cool.
Shout out for you. It's one that he had made, and it smells like Christmas. And so the
Nice.
first time he wore it was actually to a Christmas show that I was doing. And I told my friend, I was like, smell his beard. It smells like Christmas. And she's like, this is just weird.
Mhm.
But then she smelled it, and it does.
What does Christmas smell like?
It's like
Like
warm
peppermint?
and spices and like a fire, woodsy, but not overly campfire woodsy, but also with I don't know. It's whatever that beard oil smells like. That's what Christmas smells
Like
like.
reindeer poop.
Oh.
Ew.
Squirt.
Oh.
Raiders.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Possessive
This is
manners.
the one where April quits now.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
pretty sure it comes in pellets, not a squirt, but
You're right, that's true.
Depends on what they eat, I guess.
I
Oh,
love
you're
kind
you're
of
Loves
feeding
too.
your reindeer
Okay.
the wrong thing.
Well,
That's Awful.
We're just gonna walk on from that
Yeah,
one.
let's just edit
So-
all this out.
All right, starting new now.
Starting new, yeah, just in that whole thing, we're just gonna start all over. This is a
Welcome.
weird episode, yeah. Hi, this is the Nerd Factor from the Madison County Public Library in Richmond, Berea, Kentucky. I'm April.
Grandma got squirted on by.
Just stop, just stop.
Brandon.
Just stop.
Sorry.
Dear
I
Lord.
couldn't help it. I couldn't help it.
That's for sure being edited out.
That's just, you can't. I'm looking across and I'm
That's
seeing
like-
you clapping and I was like, what are you doing?
I'm just thinking of a funny song.
Mm-hmm.
Edit this out too, but I think there's videos online. with
I'm
that
sure
title.
that's true.
Oh my.
I'm sure that's true.
Use your editing.
I know,
Well,
there's so much
skills.
I
Before Friday. Have fun with that.
I know.
think it just be
Friday, not
your voice
Thursday
that
morning.
goes reindeer conversation and then back to our
It's
laughter.
like,
Yeah, just
Now,
get some
now
jingle
that
bells
I know
for 2
that you
minutes.
can bleep me out, I'm just gonna go for it.
yeah, we decided we were gonna have quacks or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, we gotta decide on sound though. I've just been making it real quiet whenever someone says something.
Yeah,
Ah.
I noticed in the last episode, I was like, I think he just edited me out.
Nice. I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I didn't notice
I
either.
didn't
Wow.
notice. Oh,
I thought maybe
master
just
at
the
work.
microphone had drifted away.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
completely gone. If you listen very closely, you can still hear what she says.
Oh.
But it's, you gotta try.
Okay.
I kind of like edited
So,
And I
myself.
was gonna
Easter
say,
egg,
you did edit
listeners.
yourself. You did edit
There's an
yourself.
Easter egg. You can find
Listen for the
Yeah.
ways
something.
Cece tries not to cuss.
There you go.
That could be it. Yep. Okay.
All right, so guys, what do you think about
Why are you being
what do you
weird?
think-
No, sorry. I guess, now I'm not sure what to say. After reindeer pooping, I don't know.
Oh Lord.
Quack.
Oh Lord. Did you just?
He said quack.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
Maybe I did.
Maybe you did, and you just quacked it out.
Did y'all bring some topics?
I did. I brought a topic.
Yeah.
Okay, I started to go into there. Yeah, sorry guys, it's a weird morning.
We're having a good time though. I'm having a great time.
Okay, so what is the difference between busy and productive to you guys?
Busy, you don't get a whole lot done.
Okay.
Productive, presumably you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Busy, yeah,
But
busy
like
is
how-
stressful, man.
Busy is
Busy
a look,
look.
productive is like an actual output.
Back end versus front
Busy,
end.
busy
Yeah.
is a look?
Yeah.
I don't understand. What do you mean by that? The
Like
look?
busy is an appearance. Like
Okay. That person
like
appears.
busy
person
looks
looks
like
busy.
you're doing stuff.
Okay, got you.
Productive is what you have at the end of the day.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna out myself on something. At the end of a production, you have something called strike, where you take down the set and you take everything down.
Right.
You literally strike the set, and frequently I find myself without something to do, and so I walk with purpose. So I'm
yeah,
looking
sure.
busy.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm air quotes. There we go.
Ah.
So I'm looking busy, and so if I walk somewhere with purpose, they won't give me something to do,
Yeah.
or it'll look like I'm already doing something, and I can do these other things. And so
Yeah.
I actually work very hard during strike, but at a certain point, it gets to the point where you're like, okay, I can't leave yet till it's done, but I'm out of things to do.
Mhm.
So rather than just going and sitting down and hiding, or whatever, I'm just gonna go and walk with purpose and look, I'm busy, I'm doing things.
I feel like I did that a lot as a kid whenever my dad would be like, all right, kids, now we have a task to do. And I'd be like, oh, over here. I'd be like,
Like,
oh, I
I
have to
have
go
to
all
do
over
it."
here. Just 1 second real quick. And then I'd just like go sit with my pants up on the toilet for 15 minutes.
Oh my god,
You
I
know?
was just gonna say, it's like my kids, is the moment there's something you've gotta do, use the bathroom, have to use the bathroom.
Right.
Really?
Right.
I Now? Of course you do.
Yeah. So busy and productive. Well, so the root word of productive, I think, is to produce.
Right?
So then I think the answer is a bit in the question, like when you're being productive, that you have something to show for it, for better or for worse. It may not
Right.
always be something awesome, but I hate being busy, but I love being productive.
Yes.
So that's.
I get
yeah.
that. And so so that was gonna come to my point, is how do we keep the balance between being busy and being productive in our lives? Because that's something that I'm dealing with a lot right now. I've got a lot of things going on, and so every now and then in my mind I'm going, okay, are you just being busy or are you actually being productive? Because there is a big difference. And like you said, Brandon, I hate being busy, but I have no problem with being productive. But then do I think I'm being productive, but I'm actually just being busy? So it's kind of interesting. I actually looked up the definitions. So busy, having a great deal to do or to keep occupied. And then for productive, it's producing or able to produce large amount of goods, crops, or other commodities, relating to or engaged in the production of goods, crops, and commodities, achieving or producing a significant amount or result.
Yeah.
So it's interesting trying to strike a balance between being busy and being productive, because if you're not very good at saying no to things,
Oh, man.
yeah, which we all raise our hands, it's like, oh, that's us. You can find yourself being busy far too often. And
So I listened to this thing, it wasn't a TED Talk, but I think it was a podcast of some sort, and Oprah was on there.
Nice.
So Oprah's big thing now is saying no.
Mhm.
Like telling herself that it is okay for her to say no, or to not appear somewhere that people want her to appear,
Yeah.
or to even like give money to something she doesn't want to give money to.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult, I think, especially for, women,
Mhm.
to say no.
Mm.
So her big thing is, like, if anybody asks you to do anything, take a minute or an hour or a day and think about
Yeah.
what your intention in that thing would be. So are you
Right.
just saying yes to please the person who asked you to do it?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
are
yeah.
you saying yes because this is something that's, fulfilling to me and
Yeah.
my mission in life and
There
all
should be
that.
like a checklist, like is it right, would it be fulfilling to me, is it something I really want to do, what's the benefit of this thing if I say yes to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be helpful for me, for sure.
Yeah, in my experience, it's interesting, you said that women tend to do
Be
this
careful about
more.
talking with your hand that's got the microphone in it. You may want to
Whoa,
use the
whoa.
other one.
Yeah.
So,
We've learned this.
in the world that I've grown up in,
Mhm.
it's very much the opposite. The women in my life growing up and up to this point have been very avid no-sayers,
Mm.
whereas it has been the men that I have found myself around, they're like, oh yeah, I can do that, I can take care of that. Yeah, let's just go hop in the truck and go take care of it right now.
Mm.
Whereas women are like, no, I'm not doing that.
Mm.
But,
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
Well, I mean, I just made that statement because I feel like women want to please people.
As- I think as a culture, the women, specifically in the U.S., but all across the globe, but in our particular culture, I think it is very heavy on women to be
It is a more
pleasers and to
general-
say, yeah, so generally, but that's great that
and
in
I
your
do see
experience
that
that
in a
it's
lot
kind
in
of
the
the
media,
opposite.
and that is projected.
Yes, it
but
is.
in the world that I've actually interacted with,
Mm-hmm.
that just does not seem to pan out as much. I mean,
Mhm.
I agree that it seems to be a standard, but
Right.
in practice, I don't see it as much as I feel like I should.
Well, actually, I think it's probably a good thing that you don't see it as much.
Well, I agree. I'm not
Yeah.
complaining at all. I think that it's appropriate to say no whenever you need to, or whenever you have
Right.
to, or whenever you want to. I mean, that's what it's for.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
exactly.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's a big problem here at work too, I feel like,
Mm.
because
It is.
we are a place of yes, I'm using your air quotes.
It's true,
right?
Yeah.
we are a place of
Um,
yes.
And that's
Yes.
sort of like what our culture around here is that
Mhm.
we want to find every way to help somebody with whatever they bring to us. And people bring, everything that you can think of to us.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's kind of difficult to, I don't know when to say no.
It is.
Yeah.
It
It
is.
is discernment in this job, I think
Mhm.
it's tough, yeah, for sure.
It is, even for me, and I don't have like a programming job like you do, Brandon, and I'm not a manager like you are, CC, but like, and
Lucky
then,
you.
huh? Lucky me. But, even for me, I find that I struggle with figuring out when to say no in this job.
Mhm.
Just
Oh,
because
yeah.
there are so many different projects and so many different things, and I only have so much time. I've gotten
Yeah.
better at it,
Mhm.
but I found that in my personal life and then in the things that I do outside of work, I'm much better at saying no. But at work, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, sure, we can do that. Sure,
Yeah.
we can do that. Sure, we can do that. And then I'm like, April, you have time to get one of these things.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough, it's a really, it causes a lot of chaos, when you when you over yes,
Yeah.
or over
Mhm.
agree.
Yeah.
Over yes, yeah.
It's a big thing for me, man, so I have a people-pleasing quality. I'd like to think in recent years of my life, I've gotten that at least a little bit under control. But, so at work,
Mm-hmm.
my goodness, the people who come and knocking on my door wanting library services are vast and diverse, yeah.
Oh yeah.
and I want to do that for everybody, you know. So, and I'm not trying to cast myself in a positive light at all. I guess what I'm trying to say is,
Well, you should.
Yeah.
Well, you should,
Well,
and, I mean, that's why you have that job.
well, no, and it's great, and I love it, and I, you know, yeah. However, what I do is I overschedule to the point of detriment, to the point of like, I can't prepare for this program as well as I'd like to, and so the program is a little bit less of lesser quality than I would prefer it be, because I have one this afternoon and one this evening and 3 tomorrow that I got to prepare for today. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's something I'm continually working on.
And then half of those programs have one or no people show.
And that
Gotta
is
love
also
that.
a real thing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
also
Well,
a real thing.
that's a thing in our field
It
anyway.
is, yeah.
It
yeah,
is.
right.
Really, any event kind of planning thing that people don't pay to go to.
Sure, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. We
Yeah.
had a very small but very enthusiastic crowd for our season finale. It was a really great. It was,
No,
We
it's
got a
a
lot of
great
good
time,
applause.
yeah, for
we
sure.
did. We got a lot of
I
good
mean-
applause. They cheered. We got some great sound
Yeah.
bites.
We did, yeah, we got some
And
great sound bites.
We did.
Yeah,
They,
yeah.
I mean, it was a great, but they were small. But it was they were very enthusiastic and
Small,
very
mighty.
small,
Yeah.
small but mighty
No
crowd.
doubt,
And
no doubt.
it was a lot of fun, man.
Mhm.
Monday night, our live recording of our season finale with special musical guest, the Jeffrey G Experience, was a lot of fun.
You guys are gonna love it. You gotta wait a few weeks.
Yeah,
Sorry
Me
about
had a
you.
great time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cece was
Bye,
smiling the whole
Cece.
time, big wide smile.
Yeah.
A lot like that.
She looked a lot like that over there in the corner.
All the
I'm wearing a weird kind of outfit though for
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I like that
it's-
belt.
I think it's like a jazzercise outfit.
Yeah,
It's like
it's like
Olivia
that
Newton
Newton-John,
John.
let's
Yeah,
get this
right,
Yeah, like
yeah,
leg
yeah.
warmers and
Yeah.
everything. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that the feet, it's a Lego person. It's her face wearing aviators on the body of a Lego person.
It's great.
yeah.
And
Makes
I'm
plenty of
assuming
sense.
that the feet are like pink high tops,
Good.
like high top Nikes. So it's gonna be something like that.
Wanna get physical. Or how about that video of the lady on the internet that's trending? It's some kind of like a one-off fitness, and she's doing this. You guys know what I'm talking about? She's like really breathing in through her nose, like. People have memed this video on like Facebook and
No,
stuff.
I've not
Yeah.
seen that one.
They've memed it like when somebody's really cooking something good in the kitchen, you know. 'Cause she's going, but it's like she's presenting it as a workout routine. Yeah, it's
Yoga breaths.
Yeah,
That's
right.
all
Yeah,
that.
right. Yeah.
My favorite's the 80s dance videos. Oh, and there are some where these people get so into it. My favorite one that I showed Tom, mostly was because of his reaction. It was the cowboy hip hop video. And it's just a compilation of all of these different videos that this woman made, and they have these dancers. And it's cowboy hip hop, cowboy hip hop. Now that you know the cowboy hip hop,
Okay.
and hip and hop, cowboy hip hop. And so it's just like it's like 60 seconds of this, and he's just looking at her and looking at me and looking at her
What?
and looking at me, which is this look of just complete incredulity on his face, just going,
Good
What?
word job, April.
what?
Incredulity.
Yeah, it's a great word.
Nice. Yeah.
So
So
yeah, busy versus productive.
Oh, yeah, back
Sitting
on
and
topic.
watching internet videos.
Oh, yeah, I'm so
That's
busy with
being
that right
busy.
now, though.
That's-
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
just
yeah,
being
for
busy.
sure.
That's looking extremely busy.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Ain't no
It's like
doubt.
sitting there at your desk with like 3 different computers around you and being very very busy, and what, like, none of them are actually.
Facebook tabs, YouTube tabs.
But what's really fun is, though, like, it looks, I had a kid, right after I first started working at the library, I had a kid who had come up and was talking to me, and he had asked me for some help, and so I helped him as best as I could, and he was like, well, you're not really doing anything, you're on Facebook. Facebook is part of my job!
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I was like, okay,
Slow
so it
down,
looked like I was
Buster.
just being busy, but I was like,
Yeah.
it's part of my, I'm working, okay, all right. What do you want? What else do you need? What else can I help you with?
Mm.
But it was just really funny.
I'm not on Facebook enough for my job, realistically.
I can see that.
I need to get back on Twitter. You know,
Ugh,
social media is
You
just
have
not
you
my
can
thing.
have at it with
I-
Twitter.
Yeah,
I hate
man, it's
Twitter.
all you.
It's just
I
in
hate
general.
Facebook.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of other people's lives, I guess.
Nice.
Or opinions.
Nice,
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Those
if I want your
opinions.
opinion, I'll go ask you for it
Sure,
because I
yeah.
know you.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we just
Wow, is that the first
How about
time?
that Facebook though, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, like we've
Am I
already
right?
talked about that
Yeah.
so many times
I know.
because it's a blessing and a curse.
I mean, what's the deal?
What's the deal? But it is. It's a blessing and a curse because you're able to stay in touch with people. You can create events. I mean, then like I'm a terrible. Okay, I'm not a terrible friend, but I'm a very lazy friend.
I think you're a pretty terrible friend.
I think so too, baby. Maybe. I said baby. What the heck?
Oh yeah!
Oh.
It's because of the sultry. I dropped my voice down a little bit. I gave you a little bit of. I think you're kind of a terrible friend. I gave you a little bit of.
I don't even know. I think I was trying to say maybe,
I
and
gave
it
you a
came
little
out
bit of
baby.
No one can resist my Matthew.
Hope everyone can
McConaughey.
see on camera how hard she's blushing.
All right.
It's pretty
Bright
bad.
red.
Hey, April. You'd be a lot cooler if you did call me baby.
I'm gonna leave.
Oh, and now the blush just gets even worse. Anyway, so but I'm a very lazy friend, and it's not because I don't care, but it's because I just out of sight, out of mind. But that's one of the things that where I find Facebook and social media to be very positive. I mean, those people are in front of you on the screen, and so you're able to keep in touch with them and stay up to date on what's going on with them in their lives. And so for that reason, I think it's great. But then you can create events, and so you know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how on earth I knew what was going on in the community or in the world before
How about this?
emails and social media.
Do you guys remember going to the store, the whatever predated Walmart where I came from? We had Hills and Hex. I don't know. If
Oh,
you know
okay.
I had
something, right?
Superior and Berea.
Okay, or even just a supermarket or the shopping mall before cell phones. Like, do you remember, like, your mom would grab you and be like, "We're meeting in the food court at 3:30," right? And then
Still do that.
and then you're lost in the ether for an hour and a half.
Like
Anything
going
could
on
have
to a high
happened.
school party for being gone for 12 hours.
Yeah,
and
man.
not have any contact, and your parents are presumably okay with this.
Right.
Because you wake up the next morning and they're not yelling at you.
I remember we used to just get, it was called Hills. It was very much like a Walmart. We would split up and nobody would have a plan. And literally an hour and a half later, my father would be breathing literal smoke out his nostrils when we finally connected, right? Because you walk around the store looking for each other for an hour.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Passing each other and missing each other because ain't nobody sending no texts.
Okay.
Well, but yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird to think, I mean, even though all of us in our lifetimes lived like this, but
Yeah.
that people used to not be able to get a hold of you unless you were at home.
Right? Thank you. Yeah.
Well, then, like,
Yeah.
even a time for that, where when you went to visit someone, it was a 3-day trip, and you had to do it in a mule cart.
Half of you would die
I
along
was
the
like,
way.
I was like, why is
Way
it a
back,
3 days?
Lucas.
You'd be a whole different group by the time you got there. Like
Yeah.
a woman would have a
There's
baby.
a new child and then 2 less elderly.
Native Americans would have,
The Oregon Trail.
Yeah, right.
It's the one with 2 less elderly. That's the name of this episode. And now
That's
Lucas is
quite the
blushing.
three-day
little
Yeah,
journey.
man. Yeah. Brandon has died of dysentery.
Do you know that's a card game now?
Oregon Trail.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is. It is. We have it at the house, and
Okay.
it's pretty fun.
Okay.
You play it pretty much just like the computer game, except you
Okay.
lay down cards.
That's fun.
And we've beat it a few times, but there have been plenty of times when every one of us died before we even made it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, that's the Oregon Trail, man. That's the price you pay for hopping in that wagon.
We're hopping in that wagon.
Sorry.
We're hopping in that wagon, baby.
I've been waiting to slip one in. Real easy and basic.
Yikes.
Moving on.
Moving on.
A baby.
Massive eye roll right there.
Baby.
All right, so Brandon, you were
Yeah,
going
I
to spoil
wanna-
something today?
I want to talk to. Okay, so listeners, hello. This.
We need to mark this down. What point is this?
Yeah, this
so that we can
episode-
actually say
Exactly.
skip ahead.
Right. This episode's coming out 2 weeks after Disney Marvel's Infinity War hit theaters, and I'm gonna spoil the crap out of it for you guys.
Please do. I've seen it. So
As
good.
if the internet hasn't done that already. Have you guys seen the I don't feel so well memes?
Yes!
They're everywhere, right?
Oh
Okay.
God.
So
I don't
it's gonna
remember the last
happen.
movie I cried so hard during.
Spoiler.
That's what everybody said.
It's
What are those
it's
things?
rough.
There's like little gems. What are those called?
Infinity
Gem-
Stones?
Oh, the Infinity
Infinity
Stones.
Stones?
Okay, so I just made a big connection. There's this meme going around. It's the Friends logo,
Yeah.
and it's like they've been here the whole
Yes.
time. I'm like,
Right.
what the hell are they talking
I know.
about?
Yeah.
I don't know if I know
I was
that.
like, are
Yeah.
people just now seeing the
It's
dots
the-
between
yeah,
the letters?
I have
They
no
changed
idea
the colors.
To make them the Infinity
To make them the
Stones
colors
and
of the
Friends
Infinity
logo?
Stones in
That's
in Friends.
fun. And they've been here all along. and
Yeah.
I haven't seen that meme. That's funny. So it's a short topic for me today. I just wanted to tell here. Hi, I'm Brandon. Happy to know you. I love.
Nice to meet you, baby.
Yeah. Right. Who loves you, baby? I loved Infinity War. I saw it on opening night, right? Or I guess the night before. I saw it on Thursday night. The movie came out on Friday. And I had a theory that a lot of people would die at the end, and that in fact,
I lost count.
yeah, so did I. The untitled Avengers 4, which is the final Avengers film that's coming out a year from now, would in fact be a continuation of this storyline, even though Kevin Feige, I don't know how to pronounce his name, he's the Marvel CEO, Kevin Feige.
I have no idea.
He's expressly said publicly many times that the roster, that everything was going to be different, and that Avengers 4, again coming out a year from now, wouldn't be connected to this movie. And I was like, well, that's not true, right? So that was my prediction. And I guess, yeah, so what happens is Thanos, who is the antagonist in this film, wins, right?
Yeah.
He wins.
Oh,
At the end
man.
of this
Yeah.
film, he wins.
It's
And half of the Avengers are killed.
why
Are
it's
dead.
more, it's more than
Like,
half.
Which ones?
So, yeah.
Okay, it's easier to
Bucky
name who's
Barnes,
left.
Yeah, it is easier
Okay.
to name who's left.
So
Captain
who's-
America, Tony Stark are left.
Okay, so on the moon
So
you
Captain
have
America and who's
on
is that,
Titan
Iron
you
Man?
have
Iron Man.
Okay.
Iron Man and
Iron Man,
Nebula.
and Nebula, and that's
and
it.
that's it
Right?
on Titan.
Chris Pratt's dead. Star-Lord's dead. Star-Lord is
The
dead.
of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the only one that's left is Rocket, the raccoon.
Right.
Whoa!
I know,
Yeah.
dude. Right? Yeah, they're all dead. When Spider-Man is dead,
Oh,
Spider-Man
and it's
dies.
oh, it's so sad.
And he's
oh,
like
he's just,
sad, and he's like, "Don't let me go, Mr. Stark.
I don't
Please,
feel so
Mr.
good.
Stark,
Please,
please,
I don't want to
sir."
go. I don't want to
Like,
go. I don't want to go. And then he just dissolves.
It's
That's
like
how everybody dies. It's
tear-jerking,
they
yeah.
crumble.
Please, sir, don't let me die, sir. Like it's like,
Yeah,
it's terrible.
It's brutal.
Right. So
And I mean, and in the first 5 minutes, you get a couple really significant deaths as well.
for sure. Yeah. Right.
Really, I mean, well, since we're spoiling it,
Yeah, man.
So
go
who's in
for
the
it.
first 5 minutes?
Loki
Loki
is
and
dead.
Scarlett Johansson.
No, this is Tom Hiddleston.
Oh, see, I don't know anybody.
Thor's brother.
Thor's
Oh,
brother.
okay.
Yeah, right.
Thor's
Oh,
brother with
yeah,
the trickster.
Yeah.
Never mind, it's not as impactful
And
now.
Idris
I just
Elba.
don't know this.
Yeah.
I know.
I was sitting there be like, "Don't kill Idris Elba. Please don't kill Idris Elba."
Oh.
Yeah, Idris dead.
Twist.
Just immediately, Heimdall is dead. So so here's what I have to say. Clearly, it's a part one of a two-parter, right?
Sure.
And they're going to retcon some things, and I think the leading fan
It's-
theory is that they're going to
It's 5G.
5G. Thank you. The leading fan theory is I think they're going to use the
The time stone.
time stone
It's gonna have to be.
to turn time backwards and save some or
Sure.
all of
It
the
has to
people.
have a better
Okay,
ending than
fine.
that.
Fine.
Yeah.
However, still, if they do that right, like I really hope that they do that right and they do right by us, and it's not like some kind of corny or I just hope they do it well, right? I wanted to bring it up today because for the first time, I think it was it was just a really integrous move for me. It was because they didn't give us candy, they didn't rot our teeth, they left us with dead heroes, and everybody was mad. The whole
Half of the universe.
right.
Half of the population of
Right.
the universe was gone.
Half the theater
Yeah.
was mad, half the theater was like crying or sad, and I'm sitting there
I'm
being
sitting there
like,
crying.
thank you for not just coddling me, you know what I mean? Thank you for
Yeah.
treating me like
Yeah.
a grown-up for
Right.
the first
Right.
Disney Marvel, and maybe I shouldn't give props for like decent filmmaking just because it's Disney Marvel and their mission is to fill our mouths full of candy anyway. Am I making sense?
Well, the next one I'm sure will fill your mouth with candy.
I'm sure I have every reason to believe. Yeah, right,
Yeah,
for sure.
maybe.
But
Well,
for now,
all right. So you're. I'm assuming that you're probably in the same camp that had this realization at the end when Doctor Strange gives Thanos the Time Stone,
Mhm.
and
Is
he
he
said,
dead, Doctor?
Yeah,
Yes,
man,
he
so
is.
sad. He's my favorite.
Cumberbund is dead.
Cumberbund, honky tonk
Cumberbatch.
chicken strips.
"Okay, Doc." Wow.
That's, the Benedict Cumberbatch name joke.
Oh
right?
yeah. That's just not
my
one that
favorite
I never
is
heard. That's
honky
pretty
tonk
great.
chicken strips. Anyway, please go ahead.
But when he gives Thanos the stone, and I'm going, why would you do this? Why would you do this? Why would you do this to save Tony Stark?
Mm.
And then he says, it was the only way, or it's the
Yeah.
only way.
Right.
I did not even make the connection at the time until like an hour later, that when he said that he saw 14 million some odd
Right, and
number.
only one scenario in which they won or came out on top.
Yeah, there was only one scenario in which they won. And then when he says, so then later when he gives him the time stone, he says it's the only way.
Right.
I didn't make that connection until about an hour later.
It's a seed
And so I'm
planted.
just going,
Right. It's a seed planted for the next film, which is fine. And
Yeah.
again, I really hope they do right by us, and whatever retcon they do or whatever, whoever they bring back, I hope it's not just like, Herbert, Time Stone, here comes Spider-Man. You love Spider-Man, everybody. Oh boy, he's back. Guess what? Yeah. You know, I hope it's I don't know. There's some drama about it and some integrity in the filmmaking, but I like this
I think
film.
that there will be.
I hope so.
I feel like there will be, because I feel like that they I think that they learned some lessons doing Pirates of the Caribbean and really just kind of milking that and
Yeah,
just
man.
kind of people going, okay, really?
Right.
Another one?
Right.
Another one?
Mm-hmm.
Dear God, another one?
Right.
And so I feel like they learned some lessons with storytelling and for a more mainstream audience.
I hope so.
And so with this one specifically, I feel like they really did a good job
Yeah.
of telling a true story, not just being like, okay, happy ending, like you said.
Right. I liked it because it was risky. That's why
yeah.
I liked it, because they didn't placate me immediately, and that made me happy. So
Some of the best stories are the ones that don't have the happy ending.
sure,
Right.
sure, right.
Maybe they'll just play it up like a sitcom, and then next episode, everyone's back, and there's no explanation.
And there's no
It's like-
explanation.
Everyone's happy.
Laugh
3
track.
years later.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get real. Disney Marvel movies need a laugh track anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so what did you think about the ending with Thanos there on his happy planet?
You know, I read
Smiling.
a theory. So this isn't a spoiler; it's a theory. Just yesterday, that maybe the kind of epilogue of this film, which is Thanos, the main antagonist, sitting back on his home planet, and he's happy and he's content. It's like his happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
I read that maybe that happy ending doesn't actually take place at the end of this film, but they're giving us a glimpse of what happens at the end of the next film. When the Avengers have won, and maybe they've changed his mind in some way or something like
I don't
this.
think so.
I don't know.
I didn't get that feeling.
Yeah,
I feel like he's happy because he feels like he saved the world.
Well, he
And
does.
he made the
That's his
sacrifice
motivation,
to save the world. Because his whole thing is that overpopulation and just overcrowding and everything are just a complete detriment to society. He watched his home world of Titan actually crumble to dust because there were too many people, not enough resources. And so his entire, everybody died as a result. And so he feels like to save the world that he needs to eliminate half of the world, half of the universe.
Somebody said, though, if you have the power to snap your fingers and literally murder half the population of the universe, why don't you just snap your fingers? And if your argument is that they're taking up all the resources and it's overpopulated, why don't you just create more resources, you idiot?
Yes.
Like, why don't you just...
Yes.
So I don't know. It's...
I saw an interesting writing prompt, kind of along the lines of the overpopulation. The writing prompt was that the planet Earth has 7 billion people on it, and there's magic that exists amongst the population. But because the population is so great, it's spread very thinly.
Yeah.
There's no real effect. But then this alien civilization decides they're going to take over Earth, and as they start to wipe out people, the remaining people become stronger and stronger.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a prompt that I'm going to have to do something
That's
with.
really cool,
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
That's cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
So that's
Do you
it.
feel
I just
like
wanted to
it's
be
a little
nerdy
bit-
again.
Do you feel like it's a little bit tropey though, that Captain America was still there?
Oh, super duper.
I was
tropey.
kind of disappointed,
Super duper
honestly.
tropey, yeah, for sure.
I was kind of disappointed that he was
I
left.
wanted to see Cap and Tony both die, for sure.
I did too, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
There were some other ones that I would really have liked to have seen stay, Doctor Strange, but I get why he was gone. I would have liked to have seen Spider-Man stay,
Yeah.
simply because he was a kid.
Right.
He was a kid, and seeing him have to come in and save
Well,
the day,
and
I think that would have been fun.
let's get real. Spider-Man, the next solo Spider-Man film has been greenlit for a year.
Right.
The next solo Doctor Strange film has been greenlit
Right.
for a year.
Right.
Like, they're not dead. They're not gone.
Right.
But
Right.
both of
How
those.
do you feel about that? Where they released the titles for all of these movies that they've got coming out through, 2020, 2024 even?
It's not going to deter people from seeing them.
Well, no, but I mean, it feels like that's that in itself is a
I
spoiler.
agree.
Because it's like, well, okay, so we know that they're coming back because you've got, 4 more movies with these characters coming out
Right,
for
right.
this particular character.
I think that they know it doesn't matter. I think that they know they're still going to make every new film they release is going to break the box office record set by the previous film.
Didn't this one? Like, this
100%,
one-
yes.
Yeah.
It broke Star Wars' record,
Right.
The Last Jedi's record, which is
Well, and
Disney Marvel's property.
People are sitting here talking about it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Here we are.
That's
right.
the most important thing.
Yep, that's it.
How long was the movie?
Very long.
It was
2
hours and 40
50
minutes.
And this is
40
why I
2:40.
don't go
Yeah.
see them.
Yeah,
Right.
I can't find 3 hours in my day that I don't have dishes to do or something else.
Right.
I can't sit there that long.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
way.
It didn't feel like 3 hours. It did not feel
I
like
was
it.
salivating the whole time.
It was actually really great. Okay, so a friend of mine had posted with a thread on Facebook with spoilers, and somebody had made a comment that I actually really, really loved, and it's along the lines of what we were saying. This ocean has too much water. I'm gonna pump half of it out. Now it's fixed forever.
Right, yeah. good.
It doesn't work that
Right,
way.
Right.
It doesn't work that way,
For
but
sure. Anyway,
yeah.
thanks for letting me nerd out again, guys. Maybe next week I'll talk about something of some worth to the
Hey,
world.
I think it's great.
People.
I think that we can learn a lot from these movies, and I think that even if
Yeah.
not just moral lessons,
Yeah.
but I think also the artistry of them.
I think if you strip
Yeah.
away a lot of the corporate stuff, which is growing increasingly more difficult to do, in my opinion, but
Mhm.
if you can get past that stuff, the stories are why I connect.
Yeah, I
most.
mean, at its heart, at its core, yes, it was visually incredible. It was a fun ride, but it was also a really incredible story.
Sure.
It really, truly was. And that's what we're about. That's what you got.
So I do have a topic that's
Whee!
a little boring.
Okay.
So have y'all heard about the summer slide? Do you know what that is?
Oh yeah.
So it's one of the main reasons why we do our big summer reading program every year.
Oh, I feel bad
The
now.
summer slide, and I'm just going to totally paraphrase here. While school is out over the summer in the traditional agrarian schedule that most school districts still have,
Right.
where you're
Which I
out
think is
for,
ridiculous.
I think it is
Yeah,
too.
sure.
When you're out for 12 weeks,
Yeah.
Easily
Yeah.
3 months, yeah. about that.
kids lose a lot of their
The summer
cognitive
slide.
Yeah,
abilities.
so you don't retain what they learned.
Right, okay.
And the issue with this is it's very socioeconomic,
Mm, Yeah.
dependent. So
yeah.
the higher the socioeconomic level of the kid,
Right,
the less summer slide they actually encounter.
sure.
So as you go down the scale of, household income
Mhm.
level, the summer slide gets worse.
Mm,
So the kids at the lower socioeconomic, I can't get that word out today,
It's
a big
scale,
Mm-hmm.
lose more cognitive ability over the summer
Yeah,
as the richer kids do.
Mhm.
sure, yeah,
So again, that's one of the big reasons why we do our summer reading program.
yeah,
Because, we are free and open to everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that kids
Yeah.
don't lose that over the summer.
Are we doing the summer eating program this
Yes.
We
Yeah.
are, in
Yeah.
fact.
Again.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
year?
yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
7th summer, I think, of doing it, something like that.
Wow.
I think this is our
I
7th
think
year.
that it may be our 6th year, because I think that,
It's a lot bigger than us now.
oh yeah.
No, I think it is our 7th year because I've been here 6 years, and my first summer here was the first year we did it.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
so this is going on my 7th
I
summer.
remember that you were kind of the
Yeah, you were the first one that.
Yeah,
I
went to
was the
Richmond,
first
right?
person that did it
person,
in Richmond.
yeah, right.
I was
right.
the person in
Yeah,
Richmond that
right,
did it.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of along those lines, every time that school was out, kids don't have food. you know?
Yeah.
Oh, right,
And
right,
that's why we do that here.
yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
We feed
Yeah.
people.
We have 12 sites in Berea, and they're
Mhm.
calling it Berea Kids Eat, and we're literally all over Berea. I'm taking programs almost every single solitary day of the summer. I'm taking something, whether it's just me, hey kids, let's play baseball, or a programmer, a community partner. It's a big summer. It's very busy for me because we are outreaching tons more, reaching out.
Outreaching.
I like
It's
outreaching.
okay.
Outreaching.
Outreaching.
Yeah.
We are outreaching.
Tons more than we do
It's
during
like
school year.
outsourcing, but you do it yourself.
Right.
So what would you call that?
Inwardly.
Inwardly outsourcing?
Inwardly
Outsourcing
Good.
inwardly.
Outsourcing inwardly. Yes.
I'm an introspective outsourcer.
Baby.
Baby.
That's great.
But when you have our kids were you intrinsically motivated to read over the
I
summer?
was intrinsically motivated to eat Doritos and play Mario during the summer.
Okay, I was one of those kids, and I, as I've said on the podcast before, I grew up coming to the Madison County Public Library, the one
In Richmond, Berea.
in Richmond, Berea, Kentucky, but specifically the one in Berea because I lived just down the hill from where we are right now, and I would walk up to the top of the hill to the library and take home a stack of books. I wasn't that interested in playing outside. I was interested in some things, but for the most part. I mean, and then, if we were home during the day, we couldn't go outside when my parents weren't home. I'd spend a lot of time at the pool, because I could walk to the pool. But besides that, we weren't allowed to just go roam the neighborhood if my parents weren't home. So I would walk to the library and take home a whole stack of books.
All right.
And so summer slide was never really an issue for me, because I had access to that and I was constantly reading. Oh my gosh, so many Babysitter's Club books.
All right.
So many.
I used to
Alright.
love those too.
So many Babysitter's Club books.
Nancy Drew.
Nice.
I read those as well.
Yeah, I love Nancy Drew. Yeah.
Nancy Drew. I like Nancy Drew more than the Hardy Boys.
Me too. I always did.
I just
Yeah.
really like her adventures far more. I
Me
couldn't
too.
get into the Hardy Boys.
Boxcar Children. was
Yes.
one of
Oh
my favorites.
yeah, that was
Boxcar Children.
Specifically the one where they went to that island and that kid got stuck in the cave because the tide was coming in.
Yes!
I read that 50 times.
Look at you.
And they made because in the first book she made pie crust using a bottle, and so then when they were on the island she got a bottle and made pie
Yeah.
crust again. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, they made a cartoon out of the first couple books.
Did they really?
Yeah, my kids fell in love with it. I forget who, the old man or their grandfather.
Mhm.
He's voiced by.
Jim Carrey,
No, it would be nice, but not the case.
Patrick Stewart, LeVar
Martin Sheen.
Nice.
How
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and it's a
I can
very
see that.
appropriate voice for the character. So it's,
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah.
Yeah, my cousin and I would compete to see who could read more Boxcar Children books. And who had the biggest collection. It was ridiculous. Absolutely. I think he ultimately won.
Yeah.
but-
Whenever I was growing up, I played a lot of video games, but
Okay.
not the Mario jumping from place to place and shooting the Goomba, but like, nowadays you sit down with an epic game, 40, 50 hours of gameplay, and it's
Right.
all spoken. You just listen to what's going on. But back in the late 90s, you had to read every single one of those
Oh,
words.
yeah.
Truth, the truth.
So I did a lot of reading, but it was definitely not a book.
Well, and I had a hard time, honestly, probably before I started working here, I had a hard time understanding or wrapping my mind around reading as just being anything. You can read anything. If you're reading the back of the cereal box, you're reading the newspaper. My husband doesn't read a lot of books, but he reads a lot of articles on his phone. So during his breaks at work, he'll sit there and he'll read, 3 or 4 articles. And then at night, he'll, when he's trying to wind down, he'll read more on his phone. Sometimes he reads books as well, but so there's this whole argument about graphic novels. They're not books. Yes, they
certainly
are.
are books.
They're still telling the
Certainly.
story.
Yeah.
You're still reading the text. So if you're reading, you're reading. It doesn't matter what you're reading.
And you still have to engage with it in ways that are different
Yes.
from engaging with images on the screen.
Oh
if
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yes.
yeah, for sure.
Or like
You,
a video
you're
versus
still
a
having to
video.
put it
Having
all
to-
together, and
right.
you're rather than just
Yeah.
consuming it, and when it's being spoon fed to you through the screen, you still have to put all of the dots together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think reading books is the only way to keep your mind engaged.
Of
Oh, I
course.
definitely,
And
yeah.
for kids
Yeah.
either. I mean, there are many ways,
Sure.
for kids to stay engaged over the summer around
Sure.
school or whatever that don't include reading a stack of books.
And
I do a
we
lot of
offer
puzzles.
those.
I love puzzles
Not
too.
just like tabletop puzzles, but like logic games,
Yeah.
Sudoku, that sort of thing. If I feel like I'm starting to have memory problems or things like that, I will actually generally get out an activity book that's like a bunch of puzzles or things like that,
Right.
because it helps re-engage that side of your brain. If I find I'm like, I've just been watching way too many shows on Netflix
Right,
for the last
right,
6
right,
months.
right. Yeah, for sure. My muscles are atrophied.
Yes.
I have to. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
To that end, CC, you just said that there are lots of different ways we can engage children other than reading during this summer slide, right? The Urban Ninja Project, I'm super excited to say, is
Yeah.
coming to many of my summer food service engagements here in Berea and also some things in Richmond, right?
Mhm.
They ain't bringing no books. What they're bringing is these great health, wellness, fitness activities and the climbing rock wall and, all kinds of cool stuff for kids. So I'm super excited about it. I'm excited that we can offer it as part of our programming. So I really am. I can't wait.
Well, one of the things that we've done over the past several years is really focus on the whole person, not
Yes,
Mhm.
definitely.
not just reading and just
Totally.
the mind, but you know, make us the whole person. You want to be completely healthy. You know, we've got the Couch to 5K program.
Right.
Totally.
We've got the summer
Yoga.
feeding program. We've got
All
yoga.
kinds of yoga, man. Yeah.
You know, and then with the programs that we offer as well, beyond that, you know, arts and crafts and things like that, that's engaging different sides of the brain that are not necessarily
Exactly.
engaged in other things. And so that's one of the things that I love, is that we're really focused on enrichment for the whole person,
It's
not
funny that you
just,
mentioned that, because I just revised the description for the youth services librarian job.
yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That was last revised in 2005.
Oh,
So
boy.
it's a
Oh,
long
my.
time.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of mention of book-based programming and literature-based. I mean, I took out every reference to
Oh,
that.
how about that? Yeah. Right.
Because like, I would never want to require that everything that we do has to be based on a
Has to be
book.
book based.
Yeah.
And that may sound insane.
Coming from a
Coming
library.
But like, you put it well, there's more to it. There's more to your brain,
Yeah.
Right.
you know.
Following the library industry, just in the past 20 years, and I'm no professional or expert, but just based on what I see and what experiences I've had, we've gone from that book-based, stodgy old lady saying shh from behind a desk, which is something I often say. I'm just being silly when I say that, but to this, as you say, April, this more whole person enrichment community center.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
You know,
absolutely what it is, yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
love
one of the things that I love about working here is
Right.
is how focused on the whole person and
Right.
enrichment and
Right.
the community.
Right, and it's
And
not
that is
just the Madison
great.
County Public Library in Richmond and Berea, Kentucky. It's the industry of library science.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you look at a library science degree program at any major university today, sure, you're going to see cataloging classes. I just recently took a cataloging class, and it was just for me, just painfully boring, right? But also, right? But you're also going to see.
Hey, we love the people that catalog for
We
us.
100%,
Yes.
100%. It's
Yeah.
just not for me. right?
Well,
It's just not for me.
partially just because that means that we don't have to
That's
do it.
exactly
Because I'm
it.
like, oh my gosh,
Right.
that's just way,
I'd
I
be
don't even
so
know
bad
that.
at that. I'd be so slow.
Oh.
I'd be the slowest
Oh.
person.
I would,
to
I'd be
ever
like,
do that.
well,
I
it
would
could
cry.
go in this category. It could go in that one too. Really, where would it
I
go?
would
You know,
cry.
I'm gonna have to read the whole thing.
So that those positions are obviously forever and a day going to be essential facets of any library system, right? And also you'll see programming classes and health, wellness, fitness classes and how to get your community engaged in creativity and the arts and the list goes on and on. And I think that's relatively new, right? Right about that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely within the past 15 years,
Right.
10,
Yeah.
15 years.
Right.
I'd
But
say about
we have
10
to-
years, really.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
what it
changed
seems.
since I've been here.
Me too.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've also started to embrace fun, I feel like.
Yeah, man.
Like,
yeah.
in some places, I don't know,
Yes.
I feel like we are afraid to be like, yeah, you can have fun here, you know, or we can
Yeah.
do this purely for entertainment's sake
Mhm.
and not for any kind of, you know, because who knows what somebody's going to get out
Right.
of it. I mean, like the
Absolutely.
movie that we just, discussed. I
Totally.
think we could all talk about that. I haven't even seen it,
Right.
and I have, ideas that I could share with you,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So, I mean, anything that gets somebody's mind engaged and gets people
Yeah.
discussing
Yeah.
things and,
Absolutely. People
What-
often say to me as outreach librarian, they say, well, you're doing karaoke? I don't understand. What does that have to do? You're showing a movie? I thought
Right.
you were a librarian.
Right.
And so then I have this opportunity really to educate them about like where libraries are going and what our mission is and
Right.
yeah, so it's great.
Yeah, one of my favorite things, as you were talking about the movie and things like that, one of my favorite things when I watch something is to be inspired.
Yes.
And
yeah.
so when I watch a movie and they've done like a particular shot has really blown my mind. I'm like, how did they do that?
Yeah, man.
That's what I mean. I do find it a little distracting from the story, but at the same time, I love it when I'm watching it and I go, oh my gosh, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Or I want to do that. Or I wonder if they used this to do that.
Right on.
Oh,
right
that's
on,
really
yeah.
neat. I wonder how you could use that. Or you listen to a song and you can imagine the story going along, that sort of thing. So I think that's one of the things that we do really well by bringing in these more non-traditional elements
Yeah.
to the library.
No doubt.
Because we're encouraging the whole person,
Mhm.
Yeah.
not just read
Yeah.
this tome.
This tome, this leather-bound tome, passed down from my great. I got nothing, guys.
Well,
Yeah.
but like, my thing is, still bring people in the building for some fun, appealing thing.
Right.
Mhm.
That maybe would be afraid to walk in here anyway,
Right
or think that
on, right
we
on.
don't have anything for them because
Yeah.
they don't like to read, or they're,
We have
they're-
shovels. I checked out a shovel.
We do have
I have a
shovels.
shovel.
We do, man.
Yeah.
All kinds. We could go all day.
Well,
we have
I mean,
seed
with the
library.
yeah, with the
Oh,
seed
the seed,
library,
yeah.
again, growing your own food, it
garden tools
engages
and do-it-yourself
physical
tools
activity,
and-
nutrition, health and nutrition.
Absolutely.
And then research on, okay, my plants are not doing well. How can
Absolutely.
how can I
Online
make them do better?
databases. We haven't even talked about online databases. Who needs a Netflix subscription when you have a public library card? The list goes on and on,
Well,
right?
everyone needs a Netflix.
When the material that you're really wanting to watch before you can go and watch Infinity Wars is checked out and is
Right.
continuing to be checked out and still has 4 holds on it,
Right.
and you're like, okay, maybe now I might need to go find this
I
movie
mean,
somewhere else.
Be proactive
If
and
Netflix
put
had
stuff
like
on
a
hold
library-
early.
Do what?
Ruthie
If
was,
Netflix had a library version.
well,
where
it's
Oh,
funny
they
that
should.
you said it, because Ruthie threw it out there a few weeks ago, like, I wonder if we could figure out a way to, like, have people be able to check out a Netflix subscription.
That's a really cool idea.
There are
Is that
there are
possible?
things out there, like there's something called Hoopla
Yeah?
that's like a movie subscription.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah,
or
that's
you can
funny.
use or you can check out movies
Yeah.
through using your library card.
Hmm.
And there's
What
something like
sucks
that.
is those cost about like $20,000. I mean, like
Mhm.
all of the
Oh, wow.
online databases cost
Yeah.
a ton of money.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay,
and
okay.
my concern with that is what movies do they have on there?
Yeah.
Because that's something that we've run into in the past. It's gotten better with one of the subscriptions that we use.
Yeah.
But it didn't have anything that was like, I was like, okay, other than whatever is currently popular in pop music right now,
Mm,
I'm not really interested in anything else that's on here.
right.
You talking about Friegel Music?
Friegel
We're
Music.
getting ready to get rid of that.
Yeah, well, and then every,
Yeah, Friegel has always been for me a little.
Streaming is so easy
Yeah.
to do. You can do it
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
literally anywhere else. So
Right.
why should we try to compete with that?
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
Right.
yeah. I felt that same way about.
no,
Friegel.
I agree. And so, I mean, and it's so like I was saying though, it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you're able to find more things that are relevant rather than like Kids Bop covers of whatever
Kids
song.
Pop is like the worst thing ever to me. Like I literally want to listen to
Oh,
anything,
I
any
have-
sound in the world. A glob of mayonnaise coming out of a jar
Squirt.
sounds better than
Squirt.
Kids Bop.
Well, I mean, I'm not a big fan of 7-year-olds singing Lady Gaga. That just seems wrong.
Yeah, I
You know, I'm
right?
with you on
got
that
like
one.
40 of them in a room singing together.
Ale-
It's like,
Alejandro, slow down. You're eight.
Yeah.
Alejandro.
Or
I was thinking of
Bruno
Magic,
Mars.
not Magic Stick. That's the 50 Cent song. That
Good one, too.
disco, the disco
Disco
stick
Stick? Yeah,
song.
Disco Stick.
Yeah.
Okie dokie
yeah.
smoky. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for the day, I think.
It was okay. So really funny.
Yeah.
My daughter was a huge fan of Glee when she was very young. She still
was a
is.
Gleek.
She was a Gleek, and so she loved their cover of Bad Romance,
Well,
but she didn't know the words, and so it was Bat Romance,
oh,
like the winged creature bat.
One of the kids at
Bat
the,
Romance.
at the YMCA many years ago in my previous career sang that song. I don't even know the artist. Is it Little John? I don't think. It's Baby Got those apple bottom jeans
Yeah.
and boots with the fur. That song.
That's a
With
Kids
the
Bop song.
fur.
100%.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I know this because he would sing it along with the he would get he thought they were singing "Baby Got that apple butter jam."
That's better.
I
Way
like
better.
that version better.
Way better.
All right, and on that note, that delicious note, we've talked a lot about
That
food today.
delicious
I'm gonna go find me some apple butter jam.
Apple butter jam.
I'm now salivating. My mouth is going squirt, so I have to go find.
Oh God.
We're not ending like that.
No, we could not end like that. Oh jeez.
Splort.
I
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
I can't even.
later, baby.
Yeah. Love you, mean it. I said it. I said it. Not you. Not you. Not you.
That's because my new greeting is later, baby.
Okay, bye, baby.